Now, I was trying to say, if you have accidents, you come out of that accident, you don't have any injury or nothing at that moment, the car is total write-off, right? But in a nonsense society, they will not tell you don't have any problem. They will carry you, they will make sure they take you to the hospital and do checkup on you. You know why? Many people have problem later from accident they have, thinking nothing was wrong with them. It's either there will be trauma to your internal organ and you will not know. It's either there is internal injury, you will not know. It's either there is internal bleeding, you will not know. You will just say, I had accident and there was miracle. The car was total write-off. I didn't have any injury. Join Gene, thank you, sister, for joining us. The car was total write-off and nothing was wrong with me. Have you gone to the hospital to check that nothing was wrong? Have you gone to check your brain? Nothing was wrong. Have you gone to check your organs are okay? Have you gone to check that your organs are not suffering any trauma? It's in Nigeria, we just do that. I had accidents here sometimes ago. I went to see my friend in Texas and we had accidents. One car just came from behind and go, sir, and it was towards my side. The impact was very bad. I came out. I thought nothing was wrong. I came out by myself. I came out of the car, opened the door and stood, and I was in shock. When the ambulance came, they saw the side where the accident happened. They said, who was sitting there? I said, me. I would say, yes, that was a miracle because I am alive. Okay? But the doctor said they have to take me to the hospital, and they told me why. I had no option than to follow them. And you know what? I had internal bleeding that I did not know of. Ordinarily, if it was back in Nigeria, I would just go to the church on Sunday and I would give testimony that I was okay. Maybe years later, some things will start happening and they will not be able to trace it. You know, we are not that detailed in Nigeria. We are not that detailed. They will not be able to trace it and say, this is what caused the problem. I will just go home and on Sunday, I'll go and give testimony. In this developed world, ambulance will stand by you because they know your organs can suffer trauma. A lot of things can go wrong from the impact of that accident. Anything can shift in your body and you will think you are okay. They will do x-ray. They will do orishirishi x-ray for you to check everything. But in Nigeria, we will just go and give testimony. And maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 years later, that person will just buy or start dealing with some complications. And they will not be able to trace it that at a point, she had an accident. Was she properly checked? Was it properly checked? Did they try to see if there was any problem, if there was anything? It just, MRI too. Thank you very much, Temitope. They will do thorough check on you. So that you can say, for you still being alive, despite everything, that is a miracle, okay? Which nobody can decide. So those are the things I consider miracle. I will not consider somebody that is not feeling okay and go to the hospital. The only time you can say you have a miracle, when you fall sick, don't go to the hospital. Don't take medication. Just pray. Take water. Make sure it's a serious sickness, so not headache. You know why? Headache is not a sickness. Headache can be as a result of it can be a sickness, but it's not. It can be a reason for a serious sickness. But most times, stress can give you headache. Lack of sleep can give you headache. Not resting enough can give you headache. Thinking too much can give you headache. Okay? Migraine is there. So, but when you really fall sick, go. Maybe you have typhoid, ordinary typhoid that you consider ordinary. Please don't take medication and say you miracle by me. When you now say, when they comment, you will see all the followers of these people. When they put down comments, they say, I am a testimony. I have experienced miracle. You now tell them, can you tell us the miracle you experienced? Can you explain, cite 1 or 2 miracles that you have experienced? Kagbo. Just tell us. By the time you will tell them that, they will not comment again. By the time you tell them that, you will not see them come back. By the time you tell them that, by the time they are telling you what they did, they will mention hospital, they will mention doctor, they will mention medication, and they will say for the medication working, that is a miracle for them. No, you use medication. It doesn't mean that because somebody else suffered the same thing, it did not work with that person did not experience miracle too. That person must have probably have other issues that you may not know of. It is just like the issue of this not having a womb and giving birth. A lot of you say, I know somebody who doesn't have a womb and they give birth. I said, really? Where did the baby stay? What was the baby feeding on? How did the baby stay in the become pregnancy? In the belly. How are you sure the person does not have belly and a womb? Just because that person told you. Just because that person came to say it. Because they say it so. Some people said, they have testimony of some people who don't have womb. Now we have got to know that if you don't have womb, you can do womb transplants to have a baby. Technology has gone far. To the extent that technology, they now have artificial womb. Where they put egg and something, till the baby will grow. They are doing that already. Technology is growing, is advancing, is moving. It's only in our own society that technology is backward. Technology does not mean anything. It is only in our society somebody will tell the youths and tell the youths, Onyibo has technology, we have God. And yet, this is a time to prove that they have God through this woman. I am not mocking this woman. This is the time for them to prove. This woman is part of them. She's one of them. She has sown so much in the ministry, in the commission, and everything. Let them practice it on this woman. Why must it be an unidentified people all the time? No, but people without identity. Why? That is the question we are trying to bring out. We are not saying it's not working. It's working. It's working very well. Rome, thank you. We say it's working. We need that chair for this woman. This woman is still just 73. They are taking her to walk around now. She can't walk on herself. This is something I confirmed from somebody close to her. And they said she has been blind going to almost 4 years now. That the thing is not just happening, no. The news is just coming out. Only that it's getting worse every day. You know the people I'm sorry for. I know sorry for you. I'm sorry for this woman. But I'm sorry more for people who don't get much. We're supposed to go to hospital on time. Go to the hospital on time. Take your medication and take it religiously. Some things that will do you is not something that may lead to deeper things. All these kidney problems too. Some of them started from high blood pressure. They start from high blood pressure. High blood pressure is a serious issue. It's in our own kind of country that we don't take it serious. Typhoid, ordinary typhoid, what we call ordinary, that typhoid that you think is ordinary. Typhoid is not ordinary. Oh yeah, help us to press the love button a little bit. Daughter of Holy Ghost, I will make you the admin on this thing. Typhoid is not ordinary. A lot of people, that typhoid they joke with, many of them die because they did not take medication on time. Antibiotic is the drug for typhoid. And if you don't take on time, before you know it, your internal organ begins to decay. That's what many people don't know. Because it affects your internal organ. It's something that has to do with your stomach, your intestine. That thing you call typhoid. There was a story of a woman that I was told. The family called me and said, Auntie, please don't stop what you are doing. Please, this is a calling upon your life. I think that was the time you know, I've been saying this thing for some weeks now. I say, I don't want to talk about them again. But something will just bring something to talk about. There was a story of this woman that was dealing with high blood pressure. And that high blood pressure led to diabetes. And she went to the church. Thank you, my part with Shola. Thank you, sis. I'll be brother Denny. So the lady went to the church and they told her it was an arrow. It was an attack. Hey, do you know that a lot of people are still believing that when something happens to them, it is an attack? So they told this woman, they said it was an attack on her parts. I mean, it was an attack from her enemies. The name of that church is this church that is always catching enemy up and down, and they are telling the enemies to fall down and buy. So this lady, she was undergoing the deliverance, not taking her medication anymore because they've told her already that it was attack. So she just was sleeping and praying, sleeping and praying, sleeping and praying. No more medication. Like play. Now, so she gets a cardiac arrest inside the church. As they say the way the thing is going, she's likely to buy. Now, they call the family member to come. They say the family member should come. The family members came and they were rushing out to the hospital. It was on the way. She ended it. It was on the way. It finished for her. And that was it. There are so many, if only they allow people to talk. If only people can be bold enough. But if you look at comment section, when you post this kind of a thing, you will see. And my question, I will still go back. Okay, I should do calling.
Firstly, I will continue to thank you for what you are doing.
Thank you, ma'am.
When you mention boldness, a lot of people lack boldness to come out and talk. But thank God for people like you. I wrote in my comment, I said, God calls you. You are our mommy G. I thank God because it's been long that I have been questioning a lot of things. But because my denomination, where I worship that time, someone like us, they tag us Obanje Mami Water. They were doing a lot of deliverance for me. They said I'm possessed. There's nothing they did not talk. But I thank God I think I've shared this with you before. It was during COVID that I actually have the strength and the boldness to say, I'm no longer doing this. And it's been 3 years now that I enter any church.
That you did what?
Just developed that. Yes, that I enter church.
Oh, okay.
It's been more than 3 years. Because I see what these people are telling us is different from what they are doing. Then let me stay on my own and call my God.
By myself.
My own. Maybe during COVID, we did not go to church. We were praying and God was answering us.
Benny.
So and I thank God and see that since about 3 years ago now, I've been on my own serving my God the way I choose to. I choose humanity over any religion now.
And you will have
Everybody
peace.
Around me now. And I have peace.
You will.
See, I don't only have peace now. I now have the time to think about my life. Before, it is always one program or the other, going to church, following another person to pursue his own
dream
vision for his life. But now I go after my own vision for my life and that of my children. And I thank God because me, I believe there is God. But I said I will never allow another person to show me how I will serve my God.
Correct.
I will serve my God the way that
my own way.
And I thank God I choose spirituality and humanity over religion. Now, if anybody is talking to me, I said, please don't talk to me about religion. No. I don't know how to say this in English. Want to know me enough. I said, now I'm free. I have known the truth. That truth, more truth.
And I'm free. Exactly. Thou shall know the truth.
Never again will I allow anybody to move me again. Never. So thank you, ma.
Thank you, sis. She was saying something now. She said, most people don't want to come out because they are not bold. No. It's not because they are not bold. If you come out, the other people that you know, that you are in the same sect, they will see you as enemies. I mean, they will see you as a bad person. They instantly tag you as a bad person. They instantly tag you, give you orishirishi name. So, okay, so boldness still has to do with it. If you are not determined, if you are not bold, and I think it's about desire, it's about humanity, the kind of humanity blood you have. I think that is what is my own problem that keeps me pushing me to keep doing this. If not, I would have stopped. But when I hear of this kind of a thing, I now thought deeply today. I said, how many people that doesn't have money, that people may not even know, if the like of Akeredolu can believe, the likes of Dora Kunyili, and now this woman, a billionaire that has the money to travel everywhere. Somebody is telling you, I'm not a doctor, young. I am not a doctor. Somebody is telling you, can be going through this. You know, if I miss your call, I'll call you back. Use your brain yourself. Don't let them use your brain for you. There's somebody I still want to bring that wants to share her experience with us on cancer. I will still bring that my auntie. Hello. Hello, you're online.
Okay, Auntie, good evening.
Good evening, sis.
I just wanted to contribute.
Go ahead.
And share my experience.
Go ahead.
I have a health condition. And I remember when I had some, I don't want to call them friends because they're not friends, like big brothers, pastors. I will tell you, you need to fast and pray. You need to contribute this. You need to do this. You need to sow. You need to, this is an attack. And you know, when I want to use the word brainwashing, when you are being brainwashed to a point where you are desperate for help, I was living in denial rather than taking my health in my hands. In living in denial, I went from a very easy, manageable situation to what it is today. Now, when it came to a point where I realized that, look, if you do not take your health in your hands, you will die. It's that simple.
It's simple, yeah.
I started taking my health in my hands. Hey, you are backsliding. I'm not backsliding. Hey, you have become brainwashed. You have become
Antichrist. Woman of little faith.
Again, or you started corrupting you. I said, yes, leave me, let them corrupt me. You're not taking, you shouldn't be taking it. It's an attack. Leave the attack, let it be attacking. Today, I am better off than I was yesterday because I took my health in my hands. I know what is wrong with me. I have found solution. I am taking my medications. And I am better off than I was yesterday. But if I had sat down and was listening and was believing, and said, you know, at a point I stopped taking my medication.
Wow. Without your doctor telling you to stop.
I stopped in the name of faith. I stopped in the name of faith. If what was wrong with me was A, it went from A to almost Z. Within a space of 2 weeks. Even doctor looked at me and asked me if I was okay. You then show them mokawe. At a point, when I started arguing, it was not, you know, when you are asking questions, it's not like, hey, you have joined them.
They don't like you to ask questions. Yes.
You have become westernized. You have become, since you left Nigeria, you don't have sense. So they started tagging me all sorts. At the point, I said, yes, leave me.
And they will they didn't avoid you. They will start avoiding you. Some of them will start avoiding you.
I believe there is God. I believe there is God. Oh my, I believe there is God. I believe, like I said, that there are miracles and miracles exist. But Jesus, Son of David, is not the way you are telling me. It is not. I mean, for Christ's sake, how many times do you sit down and walk will come and meet you without doing something? How will the healing come without you moving? How? You have to do something. An effort has to be made. It doesn't, I'm even thinking about it, just thinking about it logically, there's no sense in it. There's no sense in it.
That's all.
Let's even just be logical about it.
That logic, religion and logic does not work together. Okay, somebody is asking you.
Let's even,
sis.
But even, you know, one day I sat down and I asked myself, this thing that they tell me, that is not, is not.
Modesola is not rumor. It's confirmed. It's not rumor.
It is the things of the spirit. It is the things of the spirit.
You cannot understand the things of the spirit.
And I asked myself, let me say it in Yoruba because that's the best way I can explain. if he does not show us that truth? What is his gain?
Now, somebody is asking you a question.
Gain? If we don't see the truth, what is his own gain?
Auntie?
What is his gain?
My sister, somebody is asking you a question. So that person said, can you tell us the miracle that you know existed?
Good question. Good question. I cannot think right now, aside from what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm sure but I can't think it right now.
You have not experienced any that you can talk about?
I have, but that is not where my mindset is now. I have. But when I mean miracle, I don't mean miracle that I sat down and he came and he fell on my laps. No.
You should be able to, if you have not experienced it, then why are you saying there is a miracle?
No, Auntie, you said something now. You said you had an accident and the fact that you walked out of it alive was a miracle.
Yes, that I'm still alive.
One that just flashed to my head now. Let me share one that flashed to my head now.
Okay.
Let me share one that flashed to my head now.
You know that one, nobody was involved.
No, there's a miracle I have. Right in my head. There's one I have. When we were growing up, we were coming back from the village, and my father stopped for us to ease ourselves. I am my younger sister. I am my elder sister.
Okay.
We stopped, we eased ourselves. Just as we're easing ourselves, I turned around and I looked to the back. And I turned, I looked, I saw, I'm not kidding, nobody saw it until I shouted. There were 12 hefty men walking towards us. The road was clear. There was nobody who were driving. The speed at which we jumped into that car and drove off, and people drove after. If I had not turned back and seen those people, I don't know what happened to us till date. All of us were there, the 8 of us.
Okay. So, you know,
do you... alive, nothing happened, was a miracle.
Okay. Do you know that what happened to you can happen to anybody, even people who don't believe God exist?
I agree. Of course, I agree. I agree.
So,
I agree.
Even agree. People who don't believe God exists, it happens to them.
But that's this God. That's why I say. That's why I asked the question. When they tell us it is.
You were. Somebody said that is not a miracle. You were proactive.
No, I agree. But let me also say something. You see, this sun, it shines on the good. It shines on the bad, isn't it? It shines on the sinner, the so-called sinner. It shines on the believer. But it is
who are the sinners? Who are sinners? Who are the people they call sinners? Who are sinners?
That's why I said those so-called sinners, for lack of better word to use. Because I know where you're coming from.
Because that's the way they call people.
Better word to use. We will call them in English. That's the word we call it in English. In Yoruba, it is called aweleshe.
It's still the same thing.
Yeah, but it is what we call it in English. For lack of better terms to use.
Somebody said my own case was because I had my seatbelt on and the car has airbag. Yes, the airbag came off and, pushed me back, and the seatbelt held me down. So, if that kind of accident has happened in Nigeria, maybe one will not survive. So, the airbag is another technology.
But, Auntie,
for safety.
I'm sharing a real life. What happened to me? There was no other factor, like maybe technology that you said that intervened. The only thing that happened was I looked back. And I had no reason to look back. Till tomorrow, I looked back. I looked back and I saw that thing. I don't even know how we managed to run it, because even my father had driven before he remembered that he had children that were teen. Before he remembered that he had children that were teen, we ran like mad people to the car. But this is my own experience. But that's not what I'm trying to say is.
Somebody said it's because you were self-conscious, vigilance and instincts.
Well,
yeah, it could be that too.
Like I said,
it could be that too.
Like I said,
thank you, Tim and Jack.
See this rain that we're looking at that is falling. It
rain on everybody.
The good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
This sun, it shines on everybody. So I'm not of the opinion that it's our opinion. So let's respect it, okay?
It's happening to me. No. That's our. She's the one that just told us that she took her medication. So let's leave her. That is our own opinion, okay? So we can't all reason the same way. So don't let us force anything on anybody.
People are misunderstanding. What I'm trying to say is, religion is not the same thing as, for lack of better words to use, religion is not the same thing as Christianity, Islamization, paganism, whatever religion in quotes, or whatever faith you profess. Let me use that word. Let me be technical here. Religion is not a faith you profess.
Somebody said you were alerted by a spirit.
Somebody said what?
You were alerted by a spirit.
Well, that is, in fact, to be honest, even at that point in my life, I don't think I knew what is God born again. At that point in my life,
Okay, you were not born again then.
Yeah, at that point, I didn't say I was not. I did not know.
Okay.
What is born again?
What is born again?
I did not know.
Okay.
So let's even, if we're talking about the spirits and whatever it is you're talking about, I didn't know anything. Like, all I knew at that point was that there was a God. All I knew is that if I read something in the Bible, based on my upbringing, I had questions. Even at that age, I was asking.
All right, sis. Thank you very much.
Even at that age, I had questions. But what I'm trying to say is, people should have sense. As simple as it is, common sense.
A lot of people are going under these people. It's so sad. A lot of lives are going.
Sometimes questions need to be asked. Simple
no,
questions.
but they are not. You know, I think I did a video. You are not allowed to ask questions. Are you allowed to ask questions? When you start asking questions, they see you as a rebel.
You know, sometimes it's good to be identified as that woman said, as a backslider, as a witch that needs deliverance. It's good to be identified.
Then in that church, nobody wants to relate with you again. People will be moving away from you gradually.
Auntie is good.
Hey, thank you very much. Thank you for the chat something. Thank you. Go ahead.
I was there. That place talking about, I was there. And at a point, I will come with my trouser, pushing me, I see you. That place talking about, I was there. Because I'm coming from work. And when I go to work in Nigeria, then I'm going, Auntie, I'm that kind of person that is, look, show me, explain. If I do not have the conviction, leave it for me. Leave me and God. That's the way I see it.
Thank you, sis.
Leave me and God. That place I will go. People should ask questions. Let me leave with this statement. If it is really that difficult, what is God's benefit hiding these things from us? Let's ask ourselves simple questions.
Hiding what?
What is it gain? I mean, let's ask ourselves simple questions. When they come with that lie, that lie of it is only someone who is of the spirit, you have to throw away your common sense to think. What is God's benefit hiding those things from us? Let's look at it based on
what is God hiding?
Of Christianity. No. They tell you, oh, you cannot be of this world and understand the things of the spirit.
Okay, now I get to them. Why is God hiding such things from us? Then what is the benefit?
Hiding it from us.
God bless. Okay, I understand you now.
People should ask themselves questions. Yeah. People should ask themselves. Even let's talk about the Christians themselves. Ask yourself, what is his benefit hiding this thing from you?
That should be an update that we should put out. If you say we cannot understand the things of the spirit, it's only pastors that understand it, then what is the benefit? What usefulness is that thing that is hiding for us? I get you now.
Thank you. Thank you. That is the questions we should ask. And the minute we start asking those questions, I bet you the kind of revelation you will have, your eye will clear. You say, oh.
They will not allow you to ask questions. They don't allow.
The Bible says it. This Bible we're talking about, it says it.
Thank you, sis.
So people are not sure. Let me leave it there.
Yeah.
Let me leave it there.
Thank you. So you have used 13 minutes. Thank you. All right. If you want to call in, the number is pinned on the page, +1 240 351 9287. If you want to call in to contribute, let's take more 15 minutes to do that. If you have any experience to share. Somebody said earlier that the news is not true. The news is true. Before I posted it, I called somebody that I know that worked closely with her. And that person confirmed and said the issue has been on for long. It's not even now. It is not. The news is just breaking now. It's just coming out now. She's been having the issues for some time. And the question is, where is the place of prayer? When Adunni will tell you that prayers are just wishes. This is a confirmation. This is talking about the richest woman in the world who depended on prayers. Not only her, Akeredolu was one of our rich governors in Nigeria. He depended on prayer. Dora Kunyili depended on prayer. And some people who does not have what they have survive the same thing. I have somebody here. I don't know if she's ready to talk. Let me call her. Let me ask if she's ready to share her experience with us. Emma Bashoyi Jeo. This is I will give you number to call. Please. Somebody is already calling me on this number. I already gave you a number to call. Don't call my 347. Don't call my 6200, please. Somebody said, how did she become an oil executive from being a tailor? Babangida gave him the oil well. She used to be okay, thank you contributing my part. I will subscribe to your channel so I can come and listen to your own experience too. She used to be a tailor to Babangida's wife. And I think probably from there they formed friendship or whatever. Then they gave her oil well. You know as things be for that country now. Now connection. So that is how she became a billionaire. So the number to call is pinned under the stream. +1240 351. Oh, yes. Oh, I put the wrong number. Somebody has been saying it. It's 351 9287. 351 9287. +1240 351 9287. Somebody was asking and was saying, somebody said, give Taylor oil way. No be Nigeria. He just said, hey, we are Nigerians. Why are you shocked? Why are you surprised? Yes, Kay. I learned she even donated to Babangida's book launch. We are Nigerians. Are you surprised? Why shockalize you? Anyway, somebody also said it's not true. It is true. She has been battling with the issue for long. They said it started with blood pressure and all that. And of course, today. But unfortunately, this is something that could have been treated. Glaucoma is treatable. Glaucoma is not something that just happen and just take your eyes like that. Please take notes. Anybody can have it. It doesn't matter whether you know how to pray. I've told you, either you believe it or not, prayers are wishes. If it is not wishes, somebody say, who will you ask questions from? By questioning them, you are exposing them. So they don't like you asking questions. Okay? That's why they don't like it. So the glaucoma is something that doesn't just happen, just bam. Like those people that say, if you give God tithes, bam, he will answer you, bam. It's not like that. Glaucoma is something that is gradual. And you will know. You will start knowing. You are trying to call in, okay? +1. Don't use the number. Don't use the number underneath. It's a wrong number. The number to call is +1 351 9287. I mixed it up. +1 351 9287. Somebody said my father has it and he survived the true medical. It's true. They will remove it because it's something like that will just come and cover a junior. But before it covers your eyes fully, to buy, if you detect on time that something is wrong, and that is why they advise people in advanced world, go for medical checkup. These are part of the things you have to do every year, especially when you are using glasses. Your case is even worse, like my own. If you are using glasses, don't joke with your eyes, oh. Don't just joke with your. Okay, that is cataract. Don't just pressure in the eye. If it gets wrong, correct me. When you are talking some things, you just mix it up. So if I get it wrong, just correct me. Thank you very much, my darling sister Titi and Otubu. Thank you so much. It's not something that will just happen, bam, and collect your eyes like that, bam. It's gradual. And you will start feeling it. And that's why it's advised. When you get to a certain age, go and do yearly checkup of all these things. You are calling the number on WhatsApp. Okay. I'm calling you back. Oh, yeah, free your line. Okay, you are using glasses. Where would you go? Pressure no don't affect it, Amy. Where would you go? Now I see doctor like almost 4 times a year now, if not more. Every 2 months. Nimolori doctor, because last year I had some issues in my eyes. If you remember, if you notice, I want to read. I will be doing like this. I will be adjusting my glasses. But not anymore, if you notice. Because I was able to go to the hospital on time. And what was happening to me then, last year, if I now say I'm praying, honestly, by now I will be blind. I am telling you, this is a true life something that happened to me last year. I just woke up that morning. I began to see some things. Then I woke up that particular morning and I couldn't see anything in my room. Then I called my children. I said, let me allow this caller to talk, then I will tell you. So, yeah, sister, please, straight to the point.
Hello, ma.
Hello.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. 2-3 minutes maximum.
Okay, ma.
Please go straight to the point.
Okay, I was the one that sent a message on your show that I was a bundle of testimony, so you want to hear it.
Go ahead.
Okay. Sometimes ago, about 20 years ago, I was diagnosed I have a serious asthma because I went to a program and I couldn't breathe again. In fact, I was taken to an hospital with an oxygen. So when I got back to my state, I went to a teaching hospital. right then I was even living with a pastor, but the pastor believed in medical treatments. So the husband called the doctor for me, then the consultant. And when I was taken to the hospital, they placed me on medication. I was told that I will be on medication till God knows when. All the drugs that they gave on to me, in fact, there are more than 10 that I will be using, and they placed me on diet, and they told me that I will not be eating certain food. When I got home, I just looked at it, and something just told me and said, I was like, I want to even put God to test. We are reading this thing in the Bible. Is it real? I didn't go to any church. I didn't go. The person I was living with was a pastor. There's a pastor, but I didn't even tell him. And I just decided, okay, let me even see. The doctor told me that if I didn't use this medication, that anything can happen because my breathing do cease. It ceased. They give me inhaler and all that.
How old were you then? How old were you at this stage, ma? How old were you at this stage, ma? How old were you at this stage when it happened?
At that stage, I've not reached 30.
You were in your 20s, late 20s, plus or minus.
Not 20, like late 20s.
You were not a baby, definitely, right?
Ma?
You were not a baby when it happened.
No,
okay.
Not a baby. I've never even experienced it.
Okay, continue.
I've never experienced it. Just came suddenly like that. I've never experienced it.
Okay.
So, and I just, I challenged God in my faith. I didn't go to anywhere, and I told God that, God, if what we have been reading in the Bible is real, I want to see that miracle in me. And I prayed. In the midst of this prayer, there was the sickness struck again. That was struggling. I couldn't breathe. But at that point in time, I have decided that whatever happens, even if it leads to death or anything, I'm ready. And I came out of it immediately. But little by little, gradually, I started getting myself.
Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
It was not long that I threw away the drug.
Auntie Anisuru, can I ask you a question?
After 5 years, I even told, okay, ma'am.
When you went to the hospital, you said you were rushed to the hospital with oxygen, right?
Yes.
Were you given some medication to start taking?
Ma'am?
At that point that they took you to the hospital, were you given some medication to start taking? Thank you, light up.
I was giving, but I didn't use it for one.
You didn't use it at all?
I was given in the hospital. I didn't use it for 1 day.
Okay.
I collected it. The doctor, the consultant, carried me home.
Okay.
Because the consultant was, that was attached to the
okay.
pastor.
Then my next question.
When I got home, I have my own room.
Okay.
So when I enter my room, then the pastor's wife now asked me, come and use your medication, this and that. I told her, I said I've used it. I didn't use it.
But number one, they gave you oxygen at that point when they took you there. When they took you to the hospital, they gave you oxygen. They put you on oxygen. Did they give you any medication while you were in the hospital, while they were treating you?
They put me on oxygen, but before I got to the hospital, I've started breathing on my own.
That's what I'm saying. And they gave you, when they took you to the hospital, they must have probably given you some injection or something while you were in the hospital before you were discharged.
I was not on admission.
Okay, at least
1 hour or 2 hours after.
You are still on admission. That is still admission. It doesn't matter how long. That is still admission. At least they did some observation for you.
No, I didn't. Okay, let's see.
They will observe you.
I think there will be 1.5 hours or 2.
They will observe you. Okay, what did they say was that led to it? What led to your having that attack?
I don't even know.
They didn't tell you?
They asked me if I've been experiencing this. I said I've never in my life. That was the first time.
Okay. Now, can I share this with you, my sister? Can I share this with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Like about 7 years ago, I was doing double schedule, Monday to Friday. Then on Saturday, Sunday, I do all throughout the clock. Then suddenly there was a day I was at work in the afternoon. I couldn't breathe. 7 years ago, I couldn't breathe. And my breathing was like stopped. Then I was rushed to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, it was here. The doctor asked me question, have you ever suffered asthma? I said no. Have you ever had any chronic asthma? I said no. Have you ever experienced this? I said no. So after all the question, they carried out the question on me. They gave me this, that thing you will be pressing in your mouth, that I should start using it.
Yes.
At the end of the day, what was wrong with me was not even asthma. It was stress. Inhaler, it was stress. But ordinarily, if I was in Nigeria, they would have said it is asthma. It was after all the questions, the doctor discovered, there are so many questions they will ask you. And they did some tests. My airwaves was clear. I don't have any chest problem. I don't have any lung problem. But they just felt I needed it, and they gave it to me. And they told me to tone down on my work. And below and behold, that was how it stopped. I did not pray. I did not do anything. So having that kind of thing, it may not be asthma you have. Somebody said it could be panic attack.
Do you know why I know it is asthma? Because
how did you know it's asthma?
Immediately.
He doesn't. No, mine did not go. Mine didn't go away immediately too.
No, what I mean is that it didn't just don't disappear like that. Once, boom. It just, that's what I'm saying. I didn't just disappear. I didn't just say, okay, I pray. And the following day, the boom is no. It was a gradual process.
How did you?
Little by little.
How did you know it was asthma? How did you know it was asthma?
They actually, I ran some tests. Even the following day, after they started me, they asked me to come the following day again.
And the doctors concluded that it was asthma.
A lot of tests.
I don't trust Nigerian doctors.
Yeah, they told me.
Nigerian doctors, I don't trust them.
It's not private. I didn't go to private hospital anyway.
It doesn't have to be private. It could be general. But what you have, I want to put it out to you, may not be asthma. It may be somebody said panic attack. It may be stress related, and it's your lung will set back, and you'll be fine without medication.
But when they gave me those medication that I should use, and within that period that they gave me that medication, that was like, oh, I want to even put God into test. I had like 3 attacks. I didn't say somebody attacked me.
No, we understand attack of breathing attack.
That my breathing ceased. That I was struggling. In fact, I was tempted. I was tempted to use my inhaler.
Okay. Doctor kan fẹ́ pé wọ́n fẹ́ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣàlàyé fún wa.
To put this God into test.
Okay, so you want test along, so you didn't use the medication.
I said I am a bundle of testimony.
Okay.
I don't know about that, but that one is
okay, my sister, can I ask you one thing now? Auntie, can I ask you a question now?
For that thing, okay, ma.
Since that's where I'm going to. Since that incident, have you had any other issues that took you to the hospital?
Yes, now.
Did you have to take medication?
For those ones, I may not be sick for so okay. After that,
I lost long because you have already taken enough time. Did you take medication?
I went to the hospital for a surgery.
Why did you do the surgery? Why didn't you test God with that too?
It depends. Maybe I don't know, but my mind didn't just go there.
You should have tested God now. This is the one I'm talking. Test God.
But now I'm married. My husband will not even allow such.
I'll sorry later, Shema, so that we can pick another call.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So the number to call is +1 351 9287 +1 351 9287. Remember, on this my page, kindly be respectful. Ta ló fẹ́ pè? Okay, bóyá ni ẹ ló ń pè yìí. Hello, is this our doctor in the house?
Hello?
Is this our doctor in the house?
Yes.
Okay, please enlighten us, especially this asthma thing.
Okay.
They don't place me on argument as good as I did now. Go ahead.
Okay. There are many things that will cause shortness of breath. Number 1, panic attack. When people have panic attacks, they can have asthmatic symptoms. One of them is shortness of breath. Not breathing so as if you're gonna pass out.
Yes. Like your chest is compressing.
Another one is exercise-induced asthma.
Okay.
Some people don't have asthma, but once they start exercising, maybe take a long walk or do some strenuous work, they have asthmatic symptoms like. So, and I'm asking my sister, let me tell you, I so much believe in miracles. Even non-Christians, there are some people that you give. I have seen a patient given 4 months to live. She's still here, 17 years. Okay?
Those are miracle. Those are what I would call miracle. But she's on medication, right?
She's not a Christian. She's not a Muslim. She's agonistic. She doesn't believe in anything. Okay? But she's on medication and doing something. And again,
she's on medication.
Of healing,
I like truth.
Healing itself. Our natural body has a way of fighting disease and the foreign bodies and the infection. That's why we have all the kind of T cells in our. Another thing again, I'm going to tell our sister, how do you know that you have? How are you diagnosed? By what means? By what test? What kind of test did they conduct?
Carried out.
To tell
know that you have asthma. You cannot authoritatively say that I have asthma because nobody diagnosed you with asthma medically. You can't just from the blue say I have asthma. You might have some asthma symptoms, but that doesn't mean, because bronchitis can also mimic asthma. And bronchitis without medication can go. It depends on what kind of bronchitis, whether you have pneumonia or viral bronchitis. You see what I mean? So you cannot just say, oh, I know I have asthma, because there is no way you will know. The doctor did not diagnose you with asthma. Another thing again is you might have viral infection that will cause you shortness of breath, which will go away with time.
With time on its own.
Yes, and that doesn't mean that I believe in, because some people, the mind controls the body, right? So there are things that we do in the hospital. People with faith, it doesn't mean Christianity, it doesn't mean Islam, it doesn't mean anything. But people that have belief that
I call it strong will. I call it strong will.
Yes, my mind is powerful to carry me through. And you see the mind controlling your physical symptoms. It's something that nobody can, medically you cannot explain what happened. People are given very bad drugs, but eventually they pull through.
Yeah.
How will you explain that? It's beyond medical explanation. So my sister, you don't have asthma because you were never diagnosed with one. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so if I miss your call, I think about 2 hours. If I miss your call, I'll call you back. What she experienced, I experienced it too. 7 years ago or so, or 8 years ago. Hello, sis.
Oh, good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
I don't want to contribute to...
Please go ahead, sis. You are online. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. So, for me, particularly, I've had asthma since I was I think in my 20s. And before, I think in my 20s. So, I went to the hospital in Nigeria and I was diagnosed with asthma. And I have been living with it up to this very particular I'm talking about. And I've been able to manage it with medication, like you said that you were giving an inhaler, a visual inhaler. And there are times, if I'm sick, I used to check my body. If I feel that, I'm going to have a serious one, I quickly go to the hospital. But if not, I've been able to manage it, let's say very well that hardly would you even know that I have asthma. If I don't tell you, nobody knows. So this is now coming to talk on the program saying that, she knows she has asthma. I don't think she has any.
That was why I asked why couldn't she text God with other illness? Why only that one?
So why is it that, if he doesn't believe in God for healing, for others that he's going through, why does he still have to go to the hospital for other ailments? What okay, and then the thing is just like that. So I don't think he had asthma. He didn't have any asthma. And when one has asthma, some people adore it and all that. I have never adore mine. I have it, but I have been able to manage it with medication, with my inhaler. There are times, even in 1 year, I may not even use the inhaler or go to the hospital because of this, but I have it, and I know I have it. And people hardly know that I have it. The only thing is that, make sure you always have the inhaler with you because it can come up.
Yes, anytime. Yes. They will tell you your inhaler should be with you at all times. And don't go and use faith, that thing can kill, can buy you. Asthma. Thank you, sis.
I think like, like heating oil.
Yes, can trigger.
Don't trigger heating oil.
Perfume.
Just try to avoid things and trigger it.
Perfume too.
Fine. That is it.
Thank you, sis. You see, somebody said, tell me that Yokoye just said, I was diagnosed in Nigeria that I need to undergo a laser operation. My children disagree. And then when I got to Canada, it is cured by eye drops. One has to be very careful. Nigerian doctor, mo beru won. The mistake that they not born them where, make them come make for here. Is the mistake they will make in Nigeria because nobody will hold them accountable. We should be rounding up in 12 minutes time. If I miss your call, I will call you back. I want to be sure. Okay. I'm calling you back if I miss you online. A lot of people's lives are, hello, good evening, sis, you are online. You want to share your experience or contribute?
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, so I really appreciate what you're
That's
doing.
A wrong number. I'll give you wrong. I'll give you the right number.
I can't see myself doing that because of the criticism. They look at you as, anti-Christ and all of that. So I really commend you. But straight to the point, I was a victim of that because I got married 2012, and for 10 years I didn't have kids. I was believing God. Guess what? Like they will say, believing God, right?
Trusting God for fruit of the womb.
I kept sowing.
That's another big issue.
Because that's what they tell us. If you sow into the kingdom, provoke God and see what God will do for you. Of course, my husband was not even supportive of that, but I would go out of my way because, as a woman, and you know what it means, right? So I would go out of my way to, my jewelry, my gold, and bring it. And guess what? Nothing was happening. Even it got to a point that my mother-in-law was like, hey, the testimony that we had in church a few months ago is that somebody without womb carried children. So you are not believing God enough. And the depression came on me. Because guess what? You are just asking God, why me? Why me? Why me? Why do I have to go through this? After all, I served you when I was quite young. I was, doing all of that. But nothing happened. All of the fasting, nothing happened until I started helping myself medically. And we did IVF and all of that. And until it was time for, my body got adjusted and I was able to conceive.
Wow.
So about few like a year plus, I decided to go back to Nigeria, just to have some help because they are twins and all of that. And guess what? When I went to the church, of course, the pastor that knows me because we are kind of, and he was telling me, oh, come and give testimony. I'm like, if I want to give testimony, I'm going to say it the way it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to make people believe that
he's the pastor.
I prayed, I fasted, and boom, it happened. And here are my children. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to even mention the hospital I went to. That is what it is. And he looked at me. He said, no, but is that how to thank your God? I said, well, that is the way because, if you just come up and say this and that and blah, 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 and I waited, and all of a sudden, after 10 years, God bless me, I'm also helping people to die silently.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not helping women.
Yes, I agree.
So, a lot of times, let us say it the way it is.
The way it is, yes.
After all, it's God that gave them the power, the strength, the wisdom to come up with all of these medical innovations and all of that. Guess what? I'm not going to mention them because, one of these, our, husband and wife uniform GOs, you know what I mean? They came here. And all of a sudden, an autistic child stood up on wheelchair and say, hey, and then they announced, now she couldn't walk before, now she can walk. And this whole thing went viral.
Was that walking? The child is still wobbling.
Nigeria. It happened in a verifiable country where information are kept, where information can be verified. And at some point in time, if the information we got is that if the guy wants to open his church and get it registered, it's going to be a problem because that information will be verified. And the parents of the child have to debunk, rebuttal that information that, they were taking some medication, the child is this and that. And, again, it's because back at home, information, and there's no way to verify information. So we can come up and say we have asthma, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Thank you so very much. Keep up the good work. I really appreciate it.
So somebody's Bukola Akano said, I just listened to Kemi Olunloyo about 6 hours ago. It seems the incident just happened yesterday. No, she has been battling this sickness for long. I spoke with somebody very close to her. They've been holding her hands to walk. Maybe the plane crash now made it a total thing. She's been battling with it for long. It's not new. Yes, she has had blood pressure and all that they say she's not taken care of well enough, believing in, she has become a spiritual SU, like I would call it. She has become SU. She has become a prayer warrior. We just played one of her videos where she was praying. So the question is, and she's close to all these top pastors. The question is, where is all the power they profess? Why is it that we are not really here to debate her per se? Debate her as a person having issues. We know issues are part of life. Illness is part of life. Things happening are part of life. They are the people that believe they are immune by their prayers. They are immune by their professing. They are immune by their confession. This can never happen to me. I am covered by the blood. They are the one that believe that. We are speaking the reality here. So this is not about her per se, because I want to be empathetic here. This can be anybody, okay? But we are just using it as a case study because she's close to all this GO. Okay? She's very, very close to them. This is the person we are talking about for the person asking question. She's very close to them. Very, very close to them. All these top pastor. With all their powers and everything, they should hold hands together and decree that the site should come back. Because some of us have said prayers are wishes. Your pastor saying they pray, they do this, they decree. We never see the real people they heal. It's only story. Or somebody doesn't know somewhere they will just bring. Who confirm that person has the issue that the person has? Who? They will tell you somebody has this. Who confirmed it? Again, block any to shebi any to sick kurumbi. Who confirmed it? They will just come up and say, this person was healed, this person has kidney problem, and while we are praying, in the process, this person now suddenly became old. All the people that called in now, trying to tell us about their experience, they were taking treatment. Even the woman that said the daughter, Abina's son, stood up from the bed to open door. The child was taking treatment in hospital, and she got tired and took the child home. And took the child home. The bottom line is, if you buy for nothing. Because these people that you are depending on, holding on to, they don't joke with their medication. One of them goes around with doctor. The doctor is dark, tall, always following him around. He goes around with his medical team at any time he's going around. The medical team, they have his medication. They go around with him. Because if you even see him walking, you will know he cannot walk alone. That tells you something. He just clocked 70 now. That should tell you something. And these are people that their shadow, they say their handkerchief is waking people up.
My name is Akianabi. I'm a video director and TV producer of Akomolowe on African Magic. Keep watching Drive TV.
Olólùfẹ́ Drive TV àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí Fẹ́mi Sola ẹ máa wo Drive TV. Keep watching Drive TV.
My name is Wole Agba. Taking this time out to tell you all that you keep watching Drive TV. What drive ẹ̀wọ̀ ní ògo ẹ̀? What drive ẹ̀wọ̀ fulfilment? What drive ẹ̀wọ̀ bí tó bá lọ? Ó ní iṣẹ́ rẹ̀. Ibi ni kò máa wò Drive TV. Thank you. Chloe.
Drive TV. Driving you around the world.